Well, now for another adventure, this time cycling Victoria with the two Tims.
Bike riding would have to be the ultimate way to travel. Propelled by an even mix of muscle power and gravity, it's smooth, calm and environmentally friendly. However, throw in 4,750 other like-minded travellers and you got yourself one big party on wheels.
Welcome to the Great Victorian Bike Ride, an annual 9-day cycling adventure for bike enthusiasts, travellers, adventure seekers and, well, of course, us too.
In total, the Great Victorian Bike Ride will cover nearly 600 kilometres over 9 days of riding through the beautiful Victorian countryside. And we've joined this mass migration of bike fanatics here at the Grampians National Park and will follow their windy journey all the way to the finish line at Ballarat.
It's been going since 1984, so this is the 25th anniversary, which people are pretty excited about. They can come away, they don't have to travel with their bags, they get to ride their bike, they get all their meals, toilets and showers and the rest. I think what the ride gives people is a sense of safety out on the road. You know, they're riding with thousands of other people, you know, like-minded people who look after them. They help each other along. The camaraderie amongst the riders is really special. If someone has to stop, you know, 10 riders stop with them to help them. So everyone is together and helping each other, and that's a really special bond they have. The scenery definitely plays a part, and the riders love it, and they sort of come and say, oh, I didn't know this was in Victoria, or I didn't know this existed. People say, you know, oh, I've driven that road so many times and I didn't even notice half the things that I noticed on my bike.
Kangaroo! Watch out for the kangaroo! Unbelievable!
What a community. It's like a mobile community going around country Victoria. But it's different to running because running we tend to we start and finish, or we might sort of go around in circles and not really go all that far. But when you're bike riding, you know, I'm seeing parts of the countryside that I will have only ever driven and that you miss so much, whereas on a bike, you know, you're passing people, you're saying g'day, and then you look up and you see the beautiful rolling hills and countryside. Gee, you wouldn't want it to be anywhere else. It's fantastic.
One of the great things about touring on bike is the ability to really take in the surrounding scenery. Right now we're cruising through the Grampians National Park in the western end of Victoria's Great Dividing Range. This sandstone mountain ridge covers an area of 167,000 hectares and is one of Victoria's most impressive natural attractions. Leaving Hall's Gap, the heart of the Grampians National Park, we head off on our journey along with the other riders, soaking up the magnificent scenery straight away. This, the third largest national park in Victoria, has some of the best sightseeing opportunities in the state, and we believe that riding on a bike has got to be a pretty good way to check it out. It is quite an experience riding along with just so many other cyclists, and you really do have to keep your wits about you on the open road. To pass a cyclist, you should call out "passing" and keep to the left as much as possible. The spirits among the riders are certainly high on this day, as a light tailwind pushes everyone along. Every 15 to 20 kilometres or so, there's a well-earned rest stop along the way where drinks and food await the riders. However, make sure you remember where you put your bike. It can be quite hard to find later on.
Riding along, we couldn't help notice how many different sorts of riders and bicycle craft there were on this mass migration of bike enthusiasts. Amongst the riders were piles of school kids, oldies, youngies, and even ones who just hitch a ride along the way.
Well, there's no doubt that this year's ride is consisted of a very eclectic group of riders who are taking part in a whole variety of cycle devices. So I think it's time we went out and met some of the characters ourselves. Let's see if I can catch up.
First cyclists we came across were tandem riders grandfather Jim Allen and grandson Darby Jackals.
I think it's just wonderful country. We've seen a lot of beautiful country on this ride. Excellent country. No, there's no special technique. You've just got to keep concentrating. No slackers, it's all a teamwork. We've already done 38 Ks, so it's not that far to go. Good motor on the back here. A very good motor.
Next was a rather interesting two-wheeled machine.
I'm riding a two-wheel recumbent. I've been riding these for about 8 years now. Well, one of the advantages of the recumbent is you get the chance to have a good look at all the countryside and do it in comfort. No sore bum or stiff neck. It's just starting off and going slow when you've got to be a bit careful. But once you're going, it's, as you can see, it's easy. It goes very fast downhill. Yeah, well, so far so good, and we should be all right, I think.
Further up the road, we met a true inspiration, the oldest cyclist of the ride.
I'm 85. I've been riding a bike for 6 years. I bought my first bike at 79. It keeps me healthy. I was threatened with a knee replacement. The orthopaedic surgeon says you need a knee replacement. And here it is. 6 years later, I've still got it. So, pain, the great motivator of mankind, isn't it? It's my fourth great Vic. I suppose it's a challenge. So I reckon that $1,500 for this bike was a jolly good investment. The high-pressure tyres, they sing a lovely tune at speed on the bitumen.
If John was an inspiration, this next fellow we met was just plain ludicrous.
It's a 36-inch wheel, so you get it's a bit more gearing out of that. It's a fixed, the cranks are fixed to the wheel, so if you pedal backwards, you go backwards, you pedal forwards, you go forwards. It's always travelling at the same speed. No gears.
No brakes?
No brakes. It's all in the pedals. Just keep pedaling and you get there eventually.
These are your little handlebars. This is to sort of rest your arms along the way.
Yeah, it takes a bit of weight off the saddle and helps to control it around the corners, and when you get the crosswinds and that sort of thing, you can hit a pothole, you can still hold on to it without flying off the top of it.
How do you go down hills?
The wheel pretty much just rolls down the hill of its own accord, and if it gets too fast, you can just sort of push back on the pedals a bit. I can catch them up the hills, but they pass me straight away on the way back down again.
We'll rejoin the Tims for the next part of their Victorian bike ride in a